Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast. And during this last week, we've seen an oscillation of temperatures almost on a daily basis as we had one system after another following this footpath of the previous system. Most of the snow that we've seen this week occurred either on the day Tuesday, Thursday, or yesterday. And the most widespread precipitation event was on Tuesday, which didn't amount to much, but we did have an extended period of snowfall. It was nice to see the flakes for the first time of the year for many locations east of the Panhandle. But more importantly, we did see some exceptionally cold air following that system, and with the warm ground temperatures, we didn't expect to see any accumulation out of this system, but we actually did see some light accumulations, less than a quarter inch across portions of central and south central Nebraska. Now, as we go through this weekend, at least we've got some warm temperatures to work with, at least for the most part of this weekend, before we turn our attention to a series of waves that will be moving through the region, possibly bringing some cooler conditions as we get later into the week. So as we go to the upper air models, here's the big trough in the western United States, southwest flow aloft, bringing in some mid-level moisture into the region. Unfortunately, we don't have a deep fetch of moisture from the Gulf as the surface low is basically across northwestern Kansas, southwestern Nebraska. So any of that moisture that comes up is going to be pulled way north of us, and most of the precipitation over the central Rockies and the Dakotas. And as we go into tomorrow, the trough comes a little bit closer. We've still got a southwest flow aloft, so we're going to see some fairly warm temperatures back up in the 60s. Low pressure over the southern United States, several of them from the southwest to Texas. But again, there's really no moisture fetched to the north, so most of the moisture are associated in the central Rockies and the Pacific Northwest. And then on Monday, this trough starts to make its way toward the Great Lakes. So we're showing a series of low pressure systems at the surface, but once again, with that southwest flow aloft, not a lot of moisture is going to make it up into the central plains. Most of it will stay into the eastern United States. It does show a touch of precipitation, particularly Monday night across the northwestern part of the state. And then we kind of go into more of a zonal flow as high pressure, cool as it is, stays to the northern plains, really pushes the jet stream a little bit farther to our south. So definitely a cooler conditions. They're showing some returns here, at least in terms of the precipitation, but I don't think it's going to happen. And on Wednesday, we kind of start seeing another trough coming in the western United States, mixed flow in the middle of the country. Surface lows, again, not a lot to work with, but with high pressure to the east, that will try to pull some moisture. And the way the jet is set up, it looks like most of it will fall to the south of us. Now, as we get into Thursday, we start to see another trough building into the western United States. Winds in the upper atmosphere come to the southwest, so we should start to see a warming trend on Thursday. Low pressure to our northwest really will not be a player, as most of the moisture will be associated with that trough coming into the western United States. And then as we get on the day Friday, really wants to move this system rather quickly toward Nebraska. I think this is overdone. I think it's going to be much slower. But if it does indeed occur, we expect to see a low pressure system by the models develop somewhere in central Kansas, and that may actually be able to pull some moisture up into the system with a more widespread precipitation event over the central Rockies. More importantly, as we go out to 8 to 14 day forecast, we can see that Nebraska is at the periphery of the cold and the warm, and in terms of precipitation, below normal precipitation, but I think that system is going to be much stronger, and I think we're going to be more in the above normal category.